I'm Larry Farber, and let's queer up health. Tom Daley opens up about bulimia and body image pressures in the gay community. Olympic champion and TV personality Tom Daley is speaking candidly about his struggles with body dysmorphia and bulimia, relieving the deep impact of unrealistic body expectations within our gay community. In an interview with Radio Times, Daley reflected on how his husband, Dustin Lance Black, has been his emotional anchor. Daley said, quote, "My husband's been a huge support in that. I think it's a big thing in the gay world. Some people have very unrealistic body expectations," end quote. The 31-year-old admitted that even as an Olympian, he feels pressure at the gym. Quote, "I go to the gym and hate it because I'm like, oh my God, everyone's judging me for how I'm doing this. I find it intimidating," end quote. Daley traced the roots of his struggle back to age 17 when his performance director told him he was overweight. He recalls, quote, I used to get so hungry that I'd binge. When I binged, I felt so bad that I was bulimic for a while. It was a dark time because I didn't have anyone to talk about it," end quote. Now, through his documentary, Tom Daley, 1.6 Seconds, he hopes that sharing his story helps others feel less alone. Well, I think he still looks good. His husband looks good. Personally, I can certainly relate to the pressures. I can't relate to the pressures of training as an Olympian, but we were talking right before the story aired, and I was saying I made a quick change getting off of I-95 and changed my shirt, and I said, boy, if people saw what I looked like, and I said, boy, I must have real dysmorphia. But luckily, I'm not bulimic at this point, as you can tell. So, my goodness, body dysmorphia. But the pressures of being an Olympian, I can't imagine all the years he spent as probably high school age, 17, if I'm not mistaken, and what you need to do and the sacrifices. But he's a champion. He's made our country and our community very proud. And I think it's something to be proud of, to also share a story so that hopefully it helps anyone, whether they're part of the LGBT community or an ally or people out there, just to see that we have the same problems as many champions do.
And like body dysmorphia and image, like we in this country have been really messed up on this stuff. Like I'm one of those millennials that remembers when like Britney Spears came out on MTV for her Blackout like album thing, and everyone thought she was so fat, and I'm like, she was crazy skinny back then. So like I get that, and like body dysmorphia is real. Pretty people can have body dysmorphia too, and so I feel that for Tom Daley, and at the same time, if Tom Daley wasn't pretty, he would not have a news story today about his body dysmorphia. Like, he is famous because he's a looker. So, like, I think we also have to balance the facts of, like, yes, he's dealt with real struggles, and he gets those attention because, we already saw the pictures of him in just a swimsuit. Like, he looked pretty fine.
I just, the thing is, like, growing up, it's like I had no choice but to get a really thick skin.
Yeah.
And people were screaming at me from all angles. Adults, kids, everyone screaming at me about something, the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I act, the way I think. And it in a way, it enabled me to grow and not worry about stupid stuff like that,
And he's very lucky to have a husband like Dustin Lance Black. You look at especially when you're in the limelight, or, even here in Wilton Manors, one of the biggest gay meccas in the world, in the country, you have to look at that and say, that's a positive role model in being a spouse and being supportive.
Yes, and stop beating yourself up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And you can fall down a rabbit hole, especially when you're LGBTQ+. You really can, So, like, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself.
I do think, like, we don't talk enough about, like, when we're as community members are younger, we are very hard on ourselves. Like, I was never quite as skinny as Tom Daley, but I was pretty close, and I used to think I was so fat. And I know so many other gay men where if I had one piece of advice for every gay boy out there, you're not fat, you're much prettier than you think you are, love yourself.
Definitely, love yourself no matter what size you are.
Exactly.
It's
great
about
advice.
That. Really.
Remember that, people. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.